England's native wildlife has taken an absolute battering in recent decades, with some animals losing over 90% of their population. Most of this is thanks to introductions of non-native wildlife outcompeting the natives, so today I'm off in search of one of those animals, the ever adorable red squirrel. Once found all over the United Kingdom, but is now pretty restricted in its range and is hanging on by a thread in England. There are a few places in particular to see them, and one of those is Brownsea Island just off the south coast. So join me as I take a trip over to this island haven on the search, where other potential exciting finds could be had. I cover ground in a beautiful gem of a place. Thermal is used to try and track down the animal of interest, and a new friend is made. But ultimately, do I get what I'm looking for? Oh, I see him! I just wanted to come here and tell you that I've got a calendar, new calendar out now, with loads of my favourite photos from Africa in particular. So if you want one of these, head to the link in my bio or the top comment and you can grab yourself one. Right then, your boys landed. We're here on Brownsea Island. And do you know what? It looks really nice from this point here. Look at this. Castle and that, what's that about? Looks really cool. So here is the home of red squirrels and potentially some other really interesting things that we might see throughout the day. So there's a lagoon, there could be some spoonbills there, which would be amazing. But also in this part of England, there has been a reintroduction of white-tailed eagles, and it's the right time of the year to see osprey, so there could be all sorts of stuff happening today. But the main port of call is to hopefully see a red squirrel, a rare red squirrel right here in England. Red squirrels once used to roam all over the UK, with stories exclaiming that they could cross from one side of Scotland to another through the tree line without touching the ground. Sadly, however, those days are long gone, and red squirrels are fighting for survival here in the UK. The Scottish Highlands is the last real stronghold, but some places around England still have sizable populations. The Lake District, Merseyside, Yorkshire, and down on the south coast on the Isle of Wight, and where I am today, Brownsea Island. Their decline comes thanks to the non-native and invasive grey squirrel, introduced here by the Duke of Bedford from Woburn Abbey in 1876. Some 50 years later, and the greys had got themselves a foothold in the country and were dominating. They can carry a disease that the red squirrels can't combat. This has pushed them out, and their territory reduces further and further. Sadly, it looks like now that the red squirrel will never return to its former glory, but instead can be seen at a few select locations. Brownsea, being one of them, houses around 200 or so red squirrels, and they live here without a grey threat. So let's try and find one. So I feel like I need to say this as well. You pay for the ferry to get over here, but when you get here, you have to pay to actually be on the island. Just to make that aware, because I didn't know that was going to be a thing. So I paid the 15 quid or whatever it was to get here, and then when you get here, it's another 8 quid. Just FYI, if you come to do this. Some of you guys watching will head here to do this, and I don't like hidden money surprises, so thought it best to tell you. Anyway, onwards to the island for a red squirrel. There was a new informational hide here looking all smart and detailing bits about the island. I didn't spend too much time here though, because I was on a mission. One thing of note straight away was that this place was really quite beautiful, with both nature scenery and architectural scenery, and it wasn't long until I got my first indication that I was probably in quite a good area for some squizzles. So I'd assume this is a spot where it's quite good to find squirrels, somewhere in this sort of area. But it's actually really quite busy today, so I don't know if the squirrels are going to be like hiding away, shying away. But I'm going to look up into the trees, into the canopy, and see if I can see one of these little guys. A quick look to the trees, but no squirrel was forthcoming, so I began my march through the lovely looking woodland, and I was starting to feel like this place looks familiar in some sort of way. Right, so far, no signs of squirrels, which is, well, that's one of them, that's wildlife. But what I will say is it looks absolutely stunning in this area. It's really, really nice. And it's given me a Cairngorms vibe. And you can get this just off the coast of England, which is lovely. I mean, look, check this out. Pine forest. It's absolutely gorgeous, like proper nice out here. And I will see a squirrel. But essentially what I'm doing is walking from where we landed on the boat all the way to the other side of the island. I'm just getting my bearings, and then we'll see what we can see, because there's definitely a lagoon here that I want to check out for birds, but also any of these trees could be good for the red squirrel, so I'm trying to keep an eye out, but also as well trying to get away from the kids. There's lots of kids here today. It's the summer holidays and kids are noisy, spook off animals, and that's never good. So I'm sort of finding a little spot up here which is quieter. It should be better for wildlife, and hopefully we can get a squirrel nice and close and sort of chilled out. But just like Scotland, they're difficult to see. Hello. That's the first like proper sighting. I still haven't seen a squirrel, but it'll do. Oh mate. This basically I seem to have made a mate, just going on a little walk. So yeah, there are peacocks just waltzing about on this island. I had no idea about this, and then all of a sudden I was side by side with one of them, which was pretty cool. I marched on ahead though, contemplating the lack of squirrel sightings. So I'm kind of surprised I haven't seen a squirrel yet. I know there's only supposed to be like 200 to 250 on the island, which is not easy, by the way. It sounds like a lot, but squirrels are tiny. Red squirrels are elusive anyway. And the island's probably like a decent size for that many squirrels, right? So not easy, but still, I thought I would have had like a sniff, do you know what I mean? Just being close, but apparently not, so that's okay. I'm still determined, I still believe I'll see one. But right now, I'm heading over to hopefully, fingers crossed, see a spoonbill. A little further on and I noticed something. Right, I'm coming up to the hide. I've just had a little peek through here and I think there's a big patch of white birds over that far side. I'm thinking if they're not egrets, which would be really unusual, if they're not egrets, they could be spoonbills, and that would be really cool. I'd love that. But I can't see much else out through the little gaps here. Oh wait, hold up. I think we got them here. I think they're there. I think they're spoonies. My eyesight's too bad. I'm just getting proper camera. Right, let's have a look, shall we? Yeah, so I was wrong, and here's me showing off again how poor my eyesight is. And I've mentioned it before, but I'm due surgery on them at a time that the NHS deems suitable. But until that happens, I'm out here misidentifying nearly everything, so that's fun. Anyway, into the hide I went, and I was greeted by a Spanish scout group, so I felt like a right sore thumb sat in there. However, I looked out from the hide onto the lagoon, and there was plenty of bird action happening with gulls bobbing about, egrets on the search for their next meal, terns here, there, and everywhere. And then, as I thought from the start of the walkway to the hide, this big group of white birds were in fact spoonbills. A big old bunch of them together on this little island in the lagoon. It's a shame none of them were closer, but even so, they're a cool thing to see and not a common sight here in the UK. According to the British Trust for Ornithology, there were 27 breeding pairs in the UK as of 2017. Numbers are on the rise though, and that number is now thought to be 70 plus, but even so, they're just not common to see, and it's a privilege to see so many like this. Right, that was really cool. I've not actually been able to see like spoonbills like that before, as easy as that and as chill as that. So that's another really cool thing, because spoonbills, they're not common. You don't get to see them very often. You can go to a lot of places and they're not there. Even in places where you're supposed to see them, they might not be there. Like they're a difficult thing to see, and I would probably class them as, like, for the average person, rare, right? They're rare to see, so always quite an exciting thing to see. So yeah, proper happy with that, to be fair. That was really cool. I've just had a message from one of my mates that's on the island, Rich, and he's got a lizard. So we're gonna have a look at this lizard, or at least I'm gonna try. I'm gonna get to him and hopefully we can see these lizards. How you going, mate? Have you got yourself a lizard?
Most certainly do. Multiple lizards.
Really?
Multiple lizards. Actually really good.
Where are we looking?
So we've got 3 down on this log down here.
Oh my god, yeah, I can see it. Hold on. Would you
four.
Would you flip in? Look at that. Hello.
Yeah, up and down this boardwalk has been fantastic. So we had a couple, like, literally on the boardwalk. I imagine they're heating up with all the
the sunlight we're having.
Yeah, as much as they can.
Yeah, sick. We love a lizard here on the Wildlife with Cookie channel. They were bunched up on exposed logs, basking in the intermittent sunshine. I set about to film them close up to get some nice footage, and as I was doing this, Rich noticed they were a bit closer than we previously first thought.
Oh, whoa, mate, look down there,
Oh, no way.
Oh, there's another one here as well. There's another one there.
Oh, jeez.
They're everywhere, man.
Look, he's right there. Oh, you can get so close, it's ridiculous. Look at that. Hello. Hello. We've got this fella, look, literally right here, look. Look at him. See you later, mate. Don't you just absolutely love them? Common lizards just hanging about, catching a tan. There were dozens scattered about these exposed logs, and it made for some great viewing. Now though, let's go out here and search for red squirrels. They might have to be up in trees though. Let's go and have a look, shall we? I set off hopeful of seeing a little red cutie and decided my best course of action was to hit up a familiar spot. Right, I'm back at this spot here where it says to not feed squirrels. I'm just convinced this is where I'm going to see them. I reckon if I just stake this place out, it might get quieter and I might get luckier in that sort of way, because all of this looks so good for squirrels. I just think it's got to be the place, and I'm assuming people have been feeding squirrels here, which is why that sign's there, and this is where they see them. So we're gonna sit here and wait. Using the Pulsar Oryx XG35, I scanned around the area in the hope that I'd see a squirrel tucked away. Sadly for me, that wasn't to be the case. To pass the time in other ways though, we found a log that we thought we might be able to kickflip like a skateboard. Turns out we couldn't. More scanning and more waiting around occurred until eventually Cameron noticed something in the distance.
Can make it.
Oh yeah, got it.
Up there, way down there. He sat on top of like a...
Oh, I see him.
Yeah.
Mate, that's a wicked spot.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah, sick. A red squirrel.
How on earth did you see that?
All right, oh, he's moving. He's moving. Wait, he's on the ground. He's coming this way. He's just on the floor. Oh my goodness me. Hello.
Oh. He's got a like white tail.
Oh, I'm so happy, Drew. Yeah, boy. Finally, a red squirrel. It didn't want to hang about though, so we moved in its direction and perched up again. We waited patiently and quietly, and after some time, we were rewarded. We've got a squirrel. He's about 5 to 10 meters away, just behind the camera. There he is. There he is. Right there. This is Quiz. That's an England squirrel, a red squirrel. The native. Yes. There's only like 200 that live on this island. So even here, they're rare. But that's such a cool thing to see. Well, there we have it. You can see red squirrels in England, and more specifically right here at Brownsea Island, along with some other wicked stuff like lizards basking on logs and even the boardwalk, and then a bunch of spoonbills out on the lagoon too. And if you're lucky like me, you can make a little peacock mate. I hope you've enjoyed this video though. If you have, be sure to head to Brownsea Island to see red squirrels for yourself. If you further want to support me as a creator, then you can do so on Patreon. The link for that is in the description. For now though, thanks for watching. I've been Cookie. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.